Broadcasting live from the city of brotherly love. You're listening to Philly Funk Radio.
All right, good morning or afternoon, everybody. You are checking out Behind the Plate, correct?
That's right, sir. You got it.
On Philly Funk Radio and Philly Funk Television and Power WVSR 1360. And we are here at our studios with Hector, Randy, and of course, Mr. Van Stone. Van, how you doing today?
All right. Welcome, everyone. Of course, this is your one and only Van Stone, the face behind the voice, and I'm here with my team. We're going to have a great show today. Very excited about how this is going. New show Behind the Plate with yours truly. And these guys are doing a wonderful job. They've started a nice season, and they're going to get into a little of their background, a little bit of reminders for all our viewers who haven't seen what's been going on in a while. Maybe they'll give a little history once again, but we've had several interviews of these guys, Randy and Hector, Hector and Randy, Double R, and this is going to be exciting. I think I like their backgrounds. I want you viewers and listeners to check out the backgrounds. That's a newer thing, and they're going to introduce us to some of the things that has everything to do with umpiring. And of course, there's different type of umpires. There's tennis umpires too. But we're dealing with baseball umpires because it's unique, because basically you hear play ball from these guys. So with that in mind, I want to go right to you, Hector. Hector, let's start with Behind the Plate.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Plate with me, Hector Lozada. We're basically going to be talking about our umpiring duties and stories of the field, and among other things. A little background on me. I've been an umpire for now my 13th season. It all began as a kind of like a dare, kind of, with a couple of umpires, Randy mainly asking me to become an umpire after I was coach for 5-6 years. And, I took on the challenge to do it. And as it turns out, I enjoy it just as much as coaching, and keeps me in part of the game. So, I've been in the game I've been an umpire for 13 years now, and this is year 13. Real quick, this season, we're 2 weeks in now. I've had a total cancellation of about 5 games due to weather, spring break, and conflicts with Easter. So, that's all part of the game. Yesterday I had a game. It started at 3:00. It ended at 3:30. Thank you to the rain. So that was about it. One of the things that I enjoy about doing umpiring is the kids that we meet. Helping them out, teaching them the right way on how to stand, teaching them the right way how to swing, and just trying to help them out as much as possible. So far in this season, I've had the opportunity to coach. Well, not to coach. Excuse me. The umpire the Somerton team, which is the Somerton neighborhood in Philadelphia, which is far, far northeast. And the highlight that I saw, they have a young kid, 8 years old, on the autistic side. But this kid does not let his diagnosis hinder him. He's always there, shows up to every game, every practice, and he tries his best. So that's what I really enjoy about the whole umpiring scene, And hopefully, if I have them again in the near future, we can turn around and he'll get his first hit of the year.
Wow.
Absolutely. That'd be dope.
That sounds good.
It does. It really does. Okay.
Let us know what's going on with give us a little background again, just in case, Sure. I like how Hector did that, and then we're going to really get right into what you have to say.
Sure. My name is Randy Roque, for the ones that want to know. That's why I switched it down to Double R, to kind of give it, just go easy to it. Because trying to get my last name, people say it messed up numerous times. So Double R it is for the listeners, for the viewers. That's why I am. You can't miss me. I'm just, you can't miss me. I've been doing this umpiring thing for, technically speaking, 17 years.
Wow.
But two of it was one was bad because of 2020 with the disease, the stuff COVID came out, and then another year I was in California, so I wasn't there. I came back for the playoffs, but I wasn't there. That was all there, and it's a fun ride. It made me when I came back from the West Coast to come to the East Coast. One of the things that came to my mind was baseball. Really was. And I went to a baseball game when I came back from California, and it brought the love all back to me. And I miss the whole scenery, so it's a good thing. Um, Other than that, I'm from New York. I live in New Jersey now. I've lived in Philadelphia for over, I'm going to say 18 years. I want to say I was in Philadelphia, and like Hector said, he was a coach when I first met him. He was a coach when I first met him, and and we hit it off really well. To be honest with you, besides the screaming at me and yelling at me, saying I'm making crazy calls and stuff. That's all the hate that I get from these
Oh
umpires.
my
I mean
God.
these coaches. But but then when I persuade Hector to come to the dark side, everything changed for me. Everything. It's like watching your son grow. You know what I mean? So Hector is my best friend, and I love doing things with him. So watching him enjoying the baseball field like I do is a great thing. It's hard to find someone that shares the same values and views, almost everything about the baseball life. So
Wow.
he's definitely my brother. He's definitely my brother.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So between both of you guys playing, just to participate, I'm not an umpire. I want to hear how did the games go? You both were in two different locations, umpiring individually, singly, or
Mhm.
together.
Well, it all
Yes.
depends. Sometimes we do two-man games, especially in the playoffs. But if I don't have a game, say on a regular Wednesday night, and I have nothing better to do, I'll just pop into his game, and vice versa. So
Mhm.
Okay.
do two-man games. Technically, we're not supposed to, but we do them anyways, and that's just something that we've been doing for about 5-6 years now.
Absolutely. And they don't complain. The fact that they have a two umpire at their game, it gives them that feeling like, okay, if the one's not watching, the other one is. So it gives them that choice. So they kind of open up a little bit more when it's a two-man game, seriously. But they're young kids. They don't need a two-man team. But we do it because we just want to have fun even more into the league.
Okay. That sounds exciting. Now, tell me about the season that just started. You had about 6 games, Randy.
Yes,
Hector,
sir.
you had about how many games? You told me already, but
I had 5 cancellations. I did a total of 4 so far. So
Yeah.
okay. So what's the story this season that's different? There's 4 games, there's a lot to say. Each game has to be different. Tell
sure.
me what happened, with first game compared to the second game. Either one of you guys can go into that. Did it get better? Did it get worse? Or let us
Um,
know how they go.
I'll take
heck,
on this one here. My first game was over here in the Juniata section. Like I said earlier, I had Juniata and Somerton. My first game was a kind of a struggle for me just to get into the whole thing. I probably missed a few calls here and there. It happens. It's kind of like first game jitters for everybody, and pretty sure Randy will agree that the first game is usually your worst game by far.
absolutely. Absolutely. Sure is.
So now, that we've done that I've done 4 games, I'm back to the swing of things, just getting out there and going over your routines. This league is about teaching. So in order for you to teach in this league, you got to take your time and really, talk to the coaches. You do that first off in the ground rules. You set the tone for the whole game. You let them know what you're looking for, how you want the game to be going, speed up rules and stuff like that. So that's always key, the ground rules. And this year has been different because we have a lot of new coaches.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So a lot of the coaches don't really understand the rules, or they're just coming up from T-ball to travel ball, or they're coming up from in-house leagues to travel ball. This is considered a travel ball league, so they'll get different opinions and stuff when it comes down to the umpires and stuff.
Oh.
Because, for example, strike zones could be a question where, one umpire might like the pitches to be called low.
Okay.
Or would like them to be called high.
Okay.
That's how we flow.
Okay. So what happened? So what happened, Randy? First and second game. Give me something. Tell me a story or what.
Okay, well, the first game I had was Bustleton in Bustleton, Conwell Drive in the Boulevard, and they were going against Calvary, and that was the first game I had, and it seemed like one team came to show up. Calvary came to show up. Bustleton was there. They kind of like didn't start off fast, but when they got it together, Bustleton really took it to another level. They really did. My second game was Parkwood, and also a different Calgary team, because there's two of them in the 7 and 8 divisions, and or 9 and 10. There's two teams, so you're always going to get one coach has one thing, one coach has another thing. And that game in Parkwood, well, them boys in Parkwood, they came to play. Calgary didn't have a shot. They really didn't have a shot. They wasn't ready. So that's when you got the jitters, like you said. The first game, the second game, you get jitters. And for coaches, you're trying to figure out what works for you on that field. So they may have been garbage the first week, and I say that I don't say that disrespecting anyone. They may started off as garbage, but then later down, another week goes by, and they become superheroes. I'm like, wow. Like, where did you come from? So that was like my first 2 weeks, and I really enjoyed it because, like Hector said, a lot of new coaches, which is true. On the 7-8 division, they're all new coaches. All of them are new. So they're trying to figure out how to coach their team, but at the same time deal with the umpires as well. So it's on and off. It's an on and off issue. It's a great issue in the beginning of the season. Once we get to the middle and the All-Star game, that they know who's who now. Now they know who's who.
Okay, we may be going to break soon, but before we go to break, you guys are really doing a great job in communicating back and forth. I want a little more understanding of that because either there were some hitters between both, you're both at different places, and what I understand, those teams will meet up. The teams, for the first two games that you were at, Randy, and you at Hector, they're going to meet up. You're going to get those teams, correct?
Eventually, they see each other. Sometimes they see each other twice, but sometimes they don't. So it can happen.
So you as the umpires may not get all of the teams.
We in the 7 and 8 division, in the 9 and 10 division.
Oh.
So we get those guys. We on to those guys. Hector, I think this year did you do it for the 11 and 12, Hector?
No, my game got canceled.
One of the games got canceled. But me and Hector, I lived in the 7, 8, and 9 and 10 department because I like watching kids grow their foundation. And once they move past me, whatever happens, happens. But while they were with me, they were under my watch. I made sure their game was completely fair down the line. So that's how I want to be remembered, that he was consistent and fair.
Sounds good. We'll throw it back to Jerry if it's time for a break, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I had a question for Hector and or Randy. Have you guys ever had a chance to get to a Little League World Series?
Jerry, I just told Hector this for the past maybe 3 seasons now. Hector, we've been talking about going up there, and this year we made a thing where we want to go this year in September because the Little League World Series is in September, end of August into September. So we've been looking for that. We definitely want to.
Actually, my daughter went to Williamsport College at Lycoming College, Williamsport. So I've been through the times of the Little League World Series 4 years in a row. She actually started when the Philly team was over there, and they had the Monet Davis as the pitcher.
Yes, I remember her. Yes.
So, quick story. We took her to move in, and long and behold, there was no hotel rooms. There was nothing available. Wound up staying about 20 miles away just so that we could get a room so we could help her move in. But yeah, it's always been like a kind of a dream to go ahead out there, and hopefully this year we can actually go ahead and make it out there.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Well, we're going to take a small break, and we will be right back.
Someone's looking radiant. Thank you. Just got my Real ID star. Look at me, destined for stardom. Actually, we're traveling to New York to see a show next month, and today I fly to Chicago to visit the grandkids. Really? I'm a Real ID, so I can fly to all 50 states, D.C., and the U.S. territories. And we just booked Christmas
Nice
in Puerto
outside,
Rico,
but it's
too.
breezy.
We'll give everybody a big hug. I'll just be here.
Be your Real ID self by May 7th, 2025. Visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
A question.
All right. And we are back. I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't mute you guys for like the first 10 seconds. So, all right. But we are back. So let's go throw it back to Van real quick. We got about maybe 15 more minutes.
Okay, great. Welcome back to Behind the Plate. Of course, I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice. And we are here with Double R, the one and only, and Hector, of course. And we're in Philadelphia. So you're enjoying this program. It is sort of new. It's not brand new, but it's really gaining a lot of attention. And that's a good thing. So we've had a lot of followers and viewers. We've got attention also from outside of Philly as well. But what's interesting, I was going to ask a question while we were on break, but I'm going to ask it now to both Randy and Hector. And don't worry, guys, I don't throw any curveballs. Get it? Curveballs. I probably corny with what I said, but
You get that one. You get the one. You get the one.
No, I ain't gonna curveball. I think this is a good question. Have you guys ever tried to interview each other? Meaning, based on you both had those separate games, you two can get, a chance to question each other, and in a conversation, what happened, highlights between both games. That would be very good for the show, I think, so that the viewers, and especially the new ones, would understand what's going on.
Well, kind of do have like a after game conversation. Funny thing is, this past Friday night, there was this guy that kept on calling my phone while I was doing my game and interrupted me. He interrupted me while I was trying to finish my game. But, finally got the hit that I was doing the game and I couldn't answer. That I told him back.
Oh,
Game. So we do talk about what happens in the game. See if we got any stories. See if we ejected anybody. Stuff like that.
right.
So
I don't do those things.
Okay.
I don't do those.
Throw that out right now. That's what I'm saying. You got a chance to. In a way, I thought you were going to say something really was more exciting, but that's okay. So you can throw a little question and answer back forth to each other now, because that's really is engaging. Makes sense.
When we engage, we speak about it before and after games. So we talk about, well, what team do you have this week, or who do you have today? And then he'll give me the teams, and I'll be like, okay, I just did them 2 days ago, and I'll give him an insight like, watch this picture or watch this, and he'll do the same thing for me, where we talk about. He had a team that he already did, and he'll come to me and be like, well, I did that team. This kid's a good pitcher. He's a good pitcher. So we share notes with each other before and after games a lot of times. So it's not like we only talk to each other once, like for 5 minutes before the game or after the game. We talk all the time. So between him and I, as far as the baseball world goes, we pretty much sync together when it comes to that. We pretty much get
Well, we have like about 10 minutes left. I want you to throw one of your questions to him so the viewers and listeners can know what you guys, what happened. And that's will be pretty good. And then Hector can throw something back.
The only thing I can come up with is, why is he an Eagles fan? I mean, it's just, that's horrible.
no, just ask me about yesterday's game.
I would, but you were swimming or in a canoe when you went to the game.
Don't get my answer.
What was that? What canoe you use?
What was my throwing?
So I can't ask him questions about yesterday. Well, I had a game yesterday, but I had to cancel it because my battery on my car died, so I had to deal with that. But besides that, he had a rain out, so it wasn't really anything that we can really talk about.
Okay.
But this week we have games coming up, so we already like we can talk to each other. Like you had this team before, I had this team before, blah blah. We talk all the time, honestly
Okay.
speaking.
But for the viewers and the listeners, this is Behind the Plate, and they get to understand what you umpires are going through. Also, as I said, I just mentioned that, which is a fun fact. There are different type of umpires. You know, there's a tennis umpire. So we're not talking tennis, we're talking baseball, and you umpires are really exciting. Let's go into the fourth game. Both of you at least have 4 games. I was going to ask you, which got really interesting to me, about those coaches. So, did you have some new coaches, both of you? This question is to both of you on the fourth game. And if so, did you have any interaction, interruptions? Did the coaches call timeout a lot? You know, from the coach perspective, let us know what happened between both games, fourth game.
Well,
Either y'all can go.
in my game, basically, it was Juniata and Parkwood. The Parkwood coach is a new coach. I've never seen him before. We had just the regular ground rules, nothing out of the ordinary. They asked a couple of questions as far as what rules, because they said that they've had some different umpires. Did not see the same, did not share the same strike zone as I do. So my strike zone, I try to keep it so that it's chest to knees. Some umpires want to say shoulders to knees. Now, I've been doing 9 games this year. I haven't done it at 7/8 yet. So this week I'll have a 7/8 game, so my strike zone will grow a little bit. It'll be from shoulders to knees, not chest to knees. And it makes a difference because, of course, you know, you could call the balls a little bit higher or a little bit lower based on the height of the child. One thing that I did notice, a lot of the coaches, they're asking a lot of questions, which is great. So we have to be up on our rules. If you're not up on your rules, then you can.
Why are you umpiring?
No, you can actually give them some bad information, and it can make your game a lot more difficult than anything. So, as long as you know the rules, you know, and you explain it to them, coaches have been pretty calm. But it's the beginning of the year. It's not up to the $7 trophy yet. So once that comes around, the intensity of the game is definitely going to start getting a lot more, and the pressure for us as umpires to make the right calls, it's going to boil up, and then, you know, eventually you don't see it, but you just try to have great games as it is. But we have pressures, the kids have pressures, the coaches have pressures, and even the parents feel some of the pressure too.
By the way, I just wanted to throw in real quick. Who said their battery died on their car? Get one of these things right here. These things are like $100.
No. Listen, I need a whole new battery now. That's not going to help.
This thing has saved me so many times. And
yeah. I got it twice. 2 people saved me with that same device 2 times.
Oh, wow. Just wanted to throw that in anyway. Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. I got a question because I'm also learning myself. Like I said, knowing about baseball, really knowing about it, you know, and playing it, and then actually knowing the rules. So, and either one of you guys can ask this question because you said something that was very interesting, Hector. I thought, regardless of the height, the strike zone is still the same. But I heard you say, according to the height, shoulder down
Right.
the knees.
No.
That's for the kids that are from 9 and 10, are the ones that they get the shoulders to the knees type of thing, and 7 and 8 too.
Nope.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Shoulders is 7 and 8. 9 and 10 is the chest area and down. So that's what that is.
Yeah. Well, why? Why the difference? Why the change up? According to.
Well, the change is more trying to speed up the game because at the 7 and 8 age, some of the pitchers can't reach the plate.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then our 2-hour time limit will go down in 1 inning. So you're trying to speed up the game a little bit by shoulders to the knees.
Okay.
Real baseball, the breadbasket from, the stomach to the knees. That's your actual strike zone. And you see that on TV where they put the box, and the box usually is right on, in your stomach area down to your knees.
Okay.
And that's how you show it. The reason for the difference in height, you can have a real small 7-year-old. Some of them are actually, they play up with 6-year-olds, and they're really tiny kids. So you can't call a 5-foot pitch a strike because the kid is 2 feet 3 inches.
Interesting. Wow.
So the strike zone is definitely always going to change because of the size of the player. You got a 6'6" player, and you got a 5'1". You can't call the same strikes on the 5'1" guy that you will on a 6-foot guy.
Wow, that's very interesting. Randy, anything else, Randy? Before I'm gonna go back to Jerry.
No. Hector pretty much hit it on the nail on the coffin. He pretty much, it's just the umpire is looking at the kids, whether it's the shoulder, the knee, the chest, whatever. He's in his box. His imaginary box is right there. So that's what he's looking for. Unfortunately, you got parents and coaches who think, oh, it was a strike. Oh, it was this. They don't see what you see coming forward. They see the sides. That's all they see is the sides.
Right.
So when you're looking forward and you're looking at your imaginary box, and if that ball hits that imaginary box, it's going to be a strike or whatever the call is to come.
Okay.
So it's up to the umpire to have his own imaginary box of what his strike zone is in order to make calls. But he has to be consistent, because if he's not consistent, you're going to be known around the league as far as you don't know how to really umpire because you don't know where your strike zone is.
Wow.
So
Jerry, how much time we got, Jerry?
Oops. We're about to wrap up, but I'm going to let everybody finish their thought, and then you ask about the final thought, 30 seconds, and then we're out.
Okay, well, I was pretty much wrapped up. We just want to know, where are we? Are we at the 30-second mark, or are we at, how much time we got?
Well, we got a couple of minutes. So what I'll do is I'll ask everybody. So what I'll do is we're going to ask everybody what their final thought is, as we always do, 30 seconds or less, beginning with Hector.
All right, so my final thought, I always like to throw a little trivia for you guys. So here's one for you. I'll give you an easy one this week.
Okay.
Who is the first father and son duo to hit a home run?
Okay, we're gonna get that next week, right?
Give it a shot now.
Father and son duo, was it Griffin?
Oh, close, but no cigar.
Okay.
No, not Griffins.
Okay.
Who?
Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken
Griffey.
Griffey Sr. He said the Griffins.
Yeah, the Griffiths. Yeah, the Griffiths.
I was wrong.
Right. We got that.
Okay.
Jerry, it's your turn, I guess. I don't know. Jerry don't know about that, does he?
I have no idea. Excuse the term. I suck when it comes to sports. I know nothing. I'm just being
Okay,
honest.
so give us the answer, because we know Randy knows. So
It's
Hector.
Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. Father to son duo.
that was the right answer?
You told him it was wrong.
See,
No, he said Griffin.
Van said Griffin. That's not Griffey.
Oh, so now,
Technicality, it's
okay.
like
We're
Jeopardy.
going to go technical, right? Yeah.
Whoa.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys do you guys want to give it to him? Because he
Wow.
kind of did have it, just the wrong name.
Yeah. That was pretty good, though.
Thank you, Jerry.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. That was pretty good.
All right, so I guess that's it for
Randy?
this week. Yes.
That's it?
No,
Yeah.
go ahead, Randy. Do your
Go
30
ahead.
seconds.
No, my thing is just to I send the message to the parents, that the ones that take their kids. We do appreciate the parents for bringing their kids to the games and practice and stuff like that, because without those kids, we can't be umpired. We won't be umpiring anybody. So I always send love and thanks to the parents and then the coaches who are actually coaching these kids. I appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Let's keep these kids focused. That's
All
it.
right. And in my 30 seconds, we're going to be working on a brand new special edition magazine cover from the Philadelphia Front Page News entitled Behind the Plate. And it will be nice and sexy with our two sexy umpires in their full gear. And hopefully we're going to have some other pictures of the players and so forth and so on. But that's what we're working on so that, we can expand that and Behind the Plate can really go great. So I guess that's pretty much it. We had a great time, guys, and we're throwing it back to Jerry.
All right, so that is it for right now. I really don't have too much to say right now. I'm a little tired. I'll probably go back to sleep. I'm off today. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Take care, fellas.